Does Project Dastaan fit into a bigger piece for you guys eventually? Is this just like a one-off project because I want this to be out? This is something that I really feel for, or is this working towards a grander idea? Do you want to continue moving in this direction?
I think so, but I'm not too sure, like, based on whether it'll be as a Project Dastaan, but I'm sure that like everyone on the team doesn't see this as like, okay, we only care about this issue and then that's it, you know?
Right.
Like, this is what we want to do with our lives. We want to tell stories and, you know, make people like reconsider like their just opinions on things.
Right.
And not in a way that's like, we're going to tell you what's right and what's wrong.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Here's the story.
yeah, just let's have a conversation.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
listen to this and tell me what you think. And
Right.
whatever you think is valid, but just listen to this.
We
You
want
know?
people to think and
Yeah.
consider.
I mean, yeah, that's all very romantic, but here's the point. Here's what. Here's no. I've been thinking about it, and there is a legitimate movement in terms of people with vision are trying to sort of instantiate something like that, and it's worked. It's not like it doesn't, right? We ideally should be having more conversation. It's just that with the whole time span aspect on one end, what's really happening on the mass consumption level is that we are settling for canned pieces, right? And so that's why as soon as you just try to tell a story, which is sort of what I'm doing, the first obstacle I face is exactly that. Tell me the fucking summary so we can walk forward from here. You might be inherently interested in your idea, and so you'll give it the time, but a lot of people are sort of interested in the idea, and so how do you plan on tackling that bit of your project?
Yeah, so this is the question that like came up again and again and again when we first tried to get funding for it. And it's like people coming up to and says like, hey, that's a nice mosque in Magadi, but like I don't give a shit because I didn't come from there, right?
Right.
So how do you get me to care? And so now we're, in addition to taking these like doing these little 360 tours for these witnesses, what we're also doing is we're creating an interactive VR documentary that not only gives the person the chance to like put like virtually, imagine in VR you can put a headset on a witness and virtually be part of our team and our journey, but you can actually go through the entire partition as if you're a migrant. And by that we're trying to, it's interactive, so we're trying to contextualize like it's like a first person experience of a migration journey, and we're creating that for museums and film festivals.
What the fuck?
So then they can care.
Why have you not mentioned that?
It's all over our website.
Motherfucker. So, and when does this get out? How do I access that?
We're aiming for next August, or this August. It's 2020 now, so we're aiming for this August. So this will either be, optimized for like a standalone VR experience at a museum. We're also thinking of developing it for web. Like there's different ideas up in the air.
This is early. The reason we've not brought this up in a bigger way is because of it's much earlier in development.
Right.
We've also got another documentary called The Lost Migration, which is going to be, we're going to physically take someone over the border.
That's directed by this creative producer at Vice called Shabana Farid, and she's in New York.
Right.
And she's come up with this like crazy idea to not just like we're doing it virtually, but she's come up with this like crazy idea to actually take her grandfather back to Lucknow in the current political circumstances, and it'll be, if she manages to pull it off, and like
And you part of that team?
Yeah, we're all working together to make that happen.